האם יש לך חברים פלסטינאים?
בטח.
אז אפשר?
It's seeking truth, really. It started that way. It was really about knowing what, or showing, first of all, what people think, because there's so many claims, and then you go see the reality, and then there's a contradiction to all the claims.
It's hard to get people to stop. שם פרטי.
יוני.
שירן.
מאיפה?
מגוש עציון.
אני שאלתי, זה התחיל ששאלתי הפלסטינאים, לא הערבים פה, הערבים שם, אותה שאלה.
Palestinians think they know a lot about Israelis, but it's all based on their interaction with the conflict and what they hear, as opposed to any interaction with Jews. They know nothing about Jews and Israelis. They have almost never, very, very few of them have ever met other than seeing a soldier. Israelis tend to, even though they don't know Palestinians, rare for them to have ever met a Palestinian, they tend to know more about what's going on with Palestinians and how Palestinians think.
هل مستعد انك تعمل تنازلات عشان يكون في سلام بيننا وبين اسرائيل؟
تنازلنا عن كل شيء، ما ضلش شيء ما
We
تنازلناش
have
عنه.
already compromised everything and there's nothing left for us to compromise.
Actually, I'm also a believer that if you look at the conflict, if you read newspaper articles from the 1920s, the 1960s, and today, they're almost the same. There's very little difference going on. It doesn't matter who's in charge, it doesn't matter what's going on. It's the same rhetoric that seems to, at least...
Donald Trump is a redhead, is a ginger. And I said, do you think it's real? And he goes, no, he colors his hair for sure. He's really old.
It's always black and white. And as you dig more and more, and I can't really claim I know what the exact truth is, you realize that it is a complex, gray interaction of all these different people together, working together to create this situation.
מה אתם מעדיפים, לחיות בכבוד או לחיות בביטחון? ביטחון?
In some senses, they're really different. In other senses, you think we would understand each other. Because if you kind of cut through things, they have very similar histories, and they have very similar problems. They both are people without a land, in a sense, or people without control, dying to have control over what will happen to them. And you'd think that they would kind of understand each other better, but they don't, and they don't want to. Because there's this idea, there's a concept in conflict theory called zero-sum thinking, where the more I have, the less you have. And if I win, you lose. And that's the way they want it. I'll continue to do it as long as I can, and I think it's important. I think it's really important for people to see what both sides think and feel about the conflict. And I think it's important for each side to see their own side in the conflict and what they think.